guys, it's time for Breakthrough with Coach Lou. Coming to you live from Studio 700 at Revitalize Life Fitness and Life Coaching. Coach Lou will help you break through anything that's stopping you. Are you ready to get the body, the energy, and success you deserve? With no further ado, here's Coach Lou.
What's going on, guys? Good Monday morning to you. It is January 27th, 2020. 27 days since we did our initial goal setting workshop. 27 days since we went into a new millennium. 27 days into seeing 2020 come to fruition. So the question is, are you ready to step up and review what you've done this month? Have you stepped up? Have you done your goals? Have you even written them out? Have you done any follow through? Kudos if you're saying, yeah, coach, I am on track 110%, or I'm on track 90%, and I need to give myself a little kick in the butt. Whatever the case is, what exactly have you done? And have you done anything to this point to get going? If you haven't, I strongly suggest not turning off this live. Hang in here with this live with me, but go back to the goal setting we've been doing all month. We've been doing this all month long. There are valuable tools there for you to step up, set your goals, figure out how to map them out, how to get there, how to adjust, and how to know and on a timeline if you're winning or not. Without goals, we're flying around aimlessly. I know it's an old one, and I beat it to death, but the old airplane adage, if a pilot takes off from New York City headed to Los Angeles, and they just go, okay, I'm going to fly west, where are they going to wind up? God only knows. You know, at least they have a general direction on what direction they're going, but do they have the specific coordinates for LAX? Say they have the specific coordinates to LAX, they take off, they're going, and there's a big storm and they have to reroute. Do they go around it and just dump the plane down somewhere randomly near LAX and go, well, we got close, but there was a storm and we had to go around it, so we lost our way? Or do they just fly off into the ocean and let it fall into the ocean? No. They readjust as they're going to where that plane lands on the proper runway at LAX, and somewhat on time, usually, depending on which airline. But you see where I'm going with this. It's not perfect flight. Your journey is similar to the flight. It's not going to be perfect. You're going to hit bumps. You're going to hit turbulence. You might have to reroute. There might be too much traffic. You know, things might come up that, you know, are going to derail you or push you sideways. But let's face it, if you step up and push forward and go, okay, I need to readjust. I need to turn this dial. We need to go 5% more to the southwest. We need to, you know, dedicate a little bit more time to marketing in our business. I need to dedicate a little more time to talking to my boss about that raise. I need to take a little more time to improve myself so I'm better at what I do, so I'm more valuable to my company. You know, these are the types of things that are going to make the difference, not just going, oh, I got a little off track. Oh, that didn't quite happen like I wanted. Oh, give up on the goal, you know, plummet it down and say, I'm done with the goal. And, you know, this goal setting stuff doesn't work. Unfortunately, a lot of people do that. So your bonus video today below where this one's going to be is going to be on goal stepping. Once you see the video, you understand that one. But the whole deal is it's how to set up the micro and mini goals to build as building blocks for the major goal. So that's a whole separate little training I did for you there as a little bonus for you guys. So I'm not going to really delve into that one on the live because I want you to watch the other one. Put a little effort into this. The effort you invest into your goals and into yourself and into yourself, into your journey of growing is going to pay you back tenfold. It's going to pay you back, pay the ones you love tenfold for what you put into it. Initially, not so much. You're going to put 1,000% and seem like you're getting 10% back. But once that momentum gets going, and the momentum of goals, and that's why the goal stepping is such an important concept that I came up with, to get you there, so that that momentum will help to carry you. So it's going to be a great day today, guys. It's an awesome Monday. We are just about ready to round the bend into February, and that has come relatively quickly. So my question to you again is, did you set your goals? Did you write them? Are they written down? Did you take immediate action on them? Answer these questions back to me. Yell them back to me. Yell at the screen. Yell at if you're in the car, hopefully you're not watching, you're just listening. Answer these questions for yourself. Have you really followed through? And if you're saying, yes, I have, and yes, I'm seeing results, let that momentum build. If you're saying, no, I wrote them down on New Year's Day, but I really haven't had time, and that's the biggest load of BS. Belief system, by the way. But yes, you thought I meant something else. But seriously, if you're really following through, you should start to have seen some action occurring, some growth. And it might not have been the growth you thought it was. You might have figured out, I set this goal and it's a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. That's still growth, because you've got to grow to the next level and go, okay, I really got to step this up here to make it happen, as opposed to what I thought. But that's what's called adjusting and growing and learning to contribute in the process, and recruiting a team sometimes, whether it's your family, your coworkers, your employees, your team, to help you build towards this goal. Because, a lot of times when we think about this, let's use an analogy of building a building. Go figure, buildings behind me. But do you think one person could build that building? Probably, with the right equipment, but it would take forever. Do you think when you have a team building that building, and you use you use and incorporate the skills of the people who are really good at building foundations, and the people that are good at building steel girders, and the people that are good at installing windows, and the people that are good at getting stuff to pass code inspections and know how to work within that, do you think that sometimes that would be better delegated than sitting there with a pulley pulling up the girders all the time just by yourself, and then securing it and climbing up there and bolting on 2 bolts and climbing over to the other side and bolting on more bolts? And I'm paraphrasing. I don't know exactly if that's how the girders go up, but would it be beneficial to get a pro to do that part for you, so that your outcome is that building in 1 year, 6 months, whatever it is, where getting that pro can make that happen in that 6-month time frame, say, for instance, where if you did it yourself, it might take 6 years. So is it appropriate in your particular goal to recruit help and a team to help you create that? And in the process of that, you're also creating growth for them. You're contributing to them because they're a part of something great. So these are just schools of thought to go, okay, if it seems overwhelming what you've gotten into, maybe it just means you need to recruit a team to help you with that. Pretty cool, huh? So if you haven't done your goals, and you haven't really written them, and haven't really done the plan for attainment, and you haven't really done the timeline and all that stuff, do it. Do it today. Take your lunch break, and instead of going to Starbucks and drinking, a big, tall, fattening latte drink and gobbling down a donut, go and get a good, healthy smoothie at somewhere like Clean Juice, and I mean a really healthy smoothie, and sit down and do your goals for that hour break, or half hour if you got a lunch break. And some people say, you know what, I don't have a lunch break. All right, we'll do them at your desk. Take 15 minutes. Shut your phone off, or put it on silent. Ignore anything but you for 15 minutes. You can come up with some really compelling goals and a quick timeline and a quick plan for achievement in 15 minutes, guys. It doesn't take hours and hours and hours. If it does, your goal might be too complex, and you might need to back down to a more of a micro and mini goal mindset, and set some of those goals that can set you to get to the bigger goal. And that's, if you watch the video below, ultimately on the site, on the replay, you're going to get a good eye-opener to how to do that. So I want to do a quick review with you. It's going to be a quick morning, guys. I want to do a quick review with you today on the entire goal setting process just in case you got derailed. And if not, maybe, you need to hear it again. Sometimes you hear something once and, hey, it's a pretty good idea. You hear it twice, you go, you know what, I could really implement that. You hear it a third time and you go, you know what, I'm really going to step up and do it this time. Maybe it takes you 4 times, 5 times, maybe you got it the first time. I don't know. Everybody's different on that, but let's go ahead and do a quick review. Number 1, your goals must be specific and in writing. You can't come up with I'd like to make some more money, because here's $1, here's $2, here's $20, here's $1,000. That some person might say $1,000, that's a lot more money, where another person might say, that's menial to me. I'm a multi-billionaire. $1,000 don't matter, but my opinion is 1,000 matters anyway. But you know what I'm saying here. So it has to be specific. You might be making $10,000 a year right now, and your goal is to double that this year because you really need to do that, and you've got a baby on the way, and all, whatever the why reasoning pushing you there is, that might be a huge goal for you, where, somebody who's got a multi-billion-dollar business might go, I want to take it from 6 billion to 7 billion this year. And that's why it's got to be specific. If the multi-billionaire goes, I want to make some more money this year, he might make $6 billion and $1,000. And the person going, okay, I'm not going to make it on 10,000 because I got a baby coming. I need to make more money. They might only make 11,000 and be in real trouble. So it's got to be specific. Now, I'm going to caveat something here. Say the year goes by, you work really hard, you learn and grow, you have some setbacks, you step up, you become much better as a person. And I'm going to use the $20,000 a year example here, and you hit 19.5. Did you fail? Well, if you hadn't had the goal in the first place and you had done maybe the 11 or 12,000, that would be failure. If you hit the goal or came really close to the goal, 19.5 is a lot better than 11 or 12 in that given scenario. So having the goal pulls you. Now, what if you hit that goal a month early? Do you just sit back and relax? Some people, yes, that's their goal. You know what? I want to work 11 months out of the year, make my goal, and if I make it in 11 months, I can take a month off. Probably not the best growth concept, but might work for you. What if you go, okay, I hit the goal in 11 months, and I'm going to work an extra 3 weeks really hard and really exceed that goal, and then use that to take a really awesome week or 10-day vacation, because that doesn't even take away from what I had earmarked on that goal, because I had extra time and exceeded it. You see where I'm going with this? That is not a given where it's a coach says you must do this. What serves you? But you got to have that goal, and it's got to be specific and in writing, or else you don't know where the hell you're going. You'll be flying to LA and you'll land in Orange County, or you'll land in the ocean, or you'll land in San Francisco, because you don't know where you're going. So on that note, go ahead and make sure, get them written down, specific and in writing, very specific. Number 2, you got to find your reasons why. Remember that big, I used the letter Y with the quote. Why are you doing this? Let's go back to that example of the person finding out they're going to have a baby. They're making $10,000 a year. And, well, why? I got to get my stuff together so that I can bring this child into a better environment. Maybe they're renting a room somewhere and from somebody, and they really can't do this. They need a room for their baby. They need their own place. Well, that additional goal level will allow for that. They have some medical stuff they're going to have to pay for. So boom, there's your why. We'll do more for others than we'll do for ourselves. So a lot of times, if you need a compelling why, figure out who you love, who you care about, and how it'll affect them if you do get your goal. And on the flip side, the pain you'll create for them if you do nothing, and how you'll go backwards. So we've been through that. You guys, if you've seen the rest of the series, you've done the pain pleasure thing. If you haven't, get back on the last post and do the 3-part series there. So the next thing you need to do is the plan for the attainment, the map. You need to take massive action, your massive action program. It's called all kinds of stuff. Everybody uses some sort of acronym for MAP. Basically, it is the outline of the goal. How are you going to get there? Or you can call it GPS. Set your GPS for your goal. GPS is going to take you through a certain route to get you to where you want to go. Well, you need to go a certain route to get to your goals, and it's specific. If you're going, you set your GPS and it tells you take I-95 all the way up to Boston from Florida, and you take I-79 instead of I-95 and you keep on going, you're not going to end up in Boston. You need to know exactly where you're going. Now, also along the way, think of it this way. Think of a trucker delivering food. And I'm trying to catch all different examples because everybody resonates with something else. Trucker's delivering some perishable food, and his goal is to get it from Orlando to Los Angeles in, 72 hours. It has to be there. Well, here's where the timeline comes in. He's going to have to be in Dallas at a certain time. Ozona, Texas. And if any of you have traveled Texas and gone through it, you'll understand Ozona all too well. So that's a joke, but it's that miserable 2-day trip through Texas. So, and then, you have to be in Phoenix at a certain time. That's what we call our timeline. So if that driver decides, oh, I'm going to go check out the Grand Canyon, this, that, and the other, and it takes him 5 days to get there, that can spoil the load. That can ruin the goal or damage the goal, because maybe I'm always of the mindset that, yes, it's okay. Sometimes your goal takes a little bit longer, but if you hit it, that's okay. If it takes a month longer, but what if there's a time window on that goal that it will not happen because it has to happen for an event in December? Maybe you're planning on going to an event, then you got to have X amount of money to go. And if you don't have the money to go, you don't have the money to go, and that's a once in a lifetime event or concert or something like that. So the timeline, must be specific also, and that allows you to, on the next step 5 is evaluate and measure where you're at. How far along am I in the goal? Where am I? How much further do I have to go? Am I ahead? Am I behind? And let me tell you, don't ever fall in that trap of being ahead, because when you're ahead and you start resting on your laurels, something's going to broadside you and knock you off course, and you're going to go, uh-oh, now I'm either at par or below. And if you're way ahead and you keep pushing ahead, that comes along and bumps you, and it's like a bump rather than a disabling hit. So you see where I'm going with the timeline concept here and evaluating. And number 6, celebrate your wins, learn from your mistakes. These are important things to do. When you have a win, celebrate it. It doesn't mean if you're doing fitness and you're getting fit and losing weight that, you lose 5 pounds and you go eat a big old meal that puts 4 of it back on you because you're going to celebrate losing that 5 pounds. Celebrate it in a different way. Go get a new outfit. Set up something that's, I'm going to buy myself another pack of classes at the gym because I've done so well, or I'm going to add a day on each week, or I'm going to go for this, Spartan run or something like that. So that's what I'm talking about there is, when you're celebrating, make sure it's not taking away from your goal. And the most important questions to ask yourself is, who am I becoming by pursuing this goal? Who am I becoming today by pursuing this goal? And who am I going to be when I achieve the goal? And who am I going to affect in the process? What am I going to do for people in the process of this? Because remember, guys, we are never static in one place. We are never staying at one level. We're either moving forward or we're going backward. I will guarantee that. And you may not even feel the backward. When you start to slow up, you might be, I'm just going a little slower. I'll just hang out here for a little while. And it's okay to, you hit a goal and celebrate and take a day off and go, okay, I'm going to breathe. I'm going to go enjoy myself. It doesn't mean you hard drive. Trying to tell this one right here, that is another story. But no, truth is, but in the overall, if you don't set another goal after you hit your goal that's up to the next level, you're going to go backwards. And we've seen this so many times in sports figures, actors, actresses, businesses. Look at businesses like IBM and some of those that, they were on top. Netflix as opposed to Blockbuster. You know, I read something the other day that Blockbuster did a research study on Netflix, and it was like, spent all this money, and they were like, oh, they're no competition. They wiped them off the map because they weren't going forward. They went backwards. What if Blockbuster, with their already massive presence, went to the online streaming? Wow. How would that have turned out for them as opposed to dismissing Netflix? So this is what I'm talking about, guys. Either we're going forward or we're going backwards. So if this is all overwhelming and you're going, I'm new to this, book a coaching session with me. I'd love to coach you one-on-one. And it doesn't have to be, if you're local, yeah, right here at the studio, bam, we can do this. If you're not local, we can do a Zoom call, Skype call, FaceTime. We can do this face-to-face, even if we're not in the same city, country, time zone, etc. So book in with me. I'd love to work with you. I'd love to help you create that dream life, because that's what excites me. That's part of my goal, is to touch as many lives as possible and help them make their lives better. Because when your life gets better, guess what? You're going to make somebody else's life better, and you're going to go out and teach the same thing, because we are evolving from a institutionalized educational system to a self-directive educational system more and more every day. And we're going to talk more about that real soon, because there's some exciting things on the horizon there. And you know, we've already started Accelerate Life University for that purpose, but there's some other things I'm going to talk to you about on that. But I want to get you cut free early this morning. This way, if you're telling me, Coach, I don't have enough time because I listened to you, I don't have time to do my goals, well, you got the next 15 minutes to do your goals before you go into work, maybe, or on your first break. Whatever the case is, get them done today. If you haven't gotten them done, don't make me come looking for you, because I will come looking for you, and I want to see your goal journal. No, seriously. Guys, do it for you. Do it for the ones you love. Do it for me. If I'm the one holding you accountable, do it for me, because I do this for, guess who? You, my loved ones, and me. I'm doing this for me too. This is not something that is a total selfless act. Being able to do this absolutely makes me fall in love with life and the ability to touch your life, which makes me a better person, makes me set more goals, makes me have to grow to be able to teach you something. See, I'd be foolish to think I know it all. I'd be foolish to think you're going to follow after me blindly like a guru type thing. What I want to do is be that person that inspires you to take action and grow yourself. You know, yes, I want you to come back to me all the time for these lives and all the shows that we do and the blogs and everything else, and take our courses. And yes, I want you to come to me when you need a coach. I want to be that coach. I don't want you going somewhere else unless you really meld super well with somebody else, and that's where you need to be. But I want you in our family, in our circle here. But the reality is it's not so that you're following blindly, so that you can grow. Because people tell me, you know, one of the things I've always heard, and I know this is a one more thing, but I'm going to get off the air really quick here so you can work on your goals. And, you know, I've had psychologists that I've coached, and they're always like, they try to hit me with a lot of theory. Which theory are you using on me? And and it's not always a theory, because it's custom tailored. But the one thing they always said to me is, you're not a good businessman, Coach. Lou, you know, you're not gonna do it in this coaching thing like we do it in our field, because, you know, we have built-in clients for 1, 2, 5, 7, 10, some clients 20 years working on their problems. And I'm like, we do things a lot quicker, you know, we making use of NLP and so forth. And they're like, well, if you handle something in 1 or 2 sessions with somebody that we take 2 to 3 years, how is that financially good for your business? And I'm like, well, how is it good for your client to keep them in that negative state for years working on something if it can be handled in 2, 3, 1, 10 sessions, whatever? You know, if it can be handled that fast. And they're like, yeah, but look at the money we make. We don't have to always go find somebody else. And I said to them like this. I said, here's the situation. There was a particular client of mine that I absolutely loved working with in another area. But I said to him, let's put it like this. I said, you know, today we've overcome something that was great. And it's always nice when a psychologist tells you that, wow, I've never, you know, worked on it like that and had such fast results. But that wasn't what it was about. I said, what's going to happen next year now that you've set something brand new in motion and something comes up? Well, I'll book another session with you. I'm like, I said, because this isn't just a one-time thing of life. This might be a one-time thing getting over a phobia or getting over a stopping block in business or whatever the case is. But as life grows, challenges come back, right? So think of it this way. It is kind of a repeat situation, but on a positive basis and not as regularly. But, if you really deliver to people, they're going to come back to you for more delivery. They're going to go, you know what, I don't want to wait 6 months to do this thing that I've been planning, this new business or that. I want to do it now, but I need a jump start. Call coach. Get on with a coaching session. Let's coach on this, that, the other. I'm ready for this. Or tragedy hits and you need that, oh my God, I really don't know how to handle this. And you get some coaching. But life continues to grow. But my thing my whole point to this, and I got a little off track, but I don't want to make you dependent upon me. I want to make you excited to come back and learn more and grow more and get more coaching so that it creates momentum. Not because we set it up that you got to take a year or 2 years to overcome one thing. And I'm not picking on the psychological, the people who are in psychiatry of that, because there are some very severe cases that, obviously need medication, chemical imbalances and that we don't deal with. That's not it. But in the everyday stopping blocks and the phobias and some of that stuff, it's easy to realign a lot of times as opposed to create a long-term program. Now, there are people that need long-term. There are people that, have some psychiatric disorders that coaching is not this the scenario there. So let's go ahead and sign off for the day. And you guys live with faith, energy, passion. Always live your dreams. I'll see you on the next one. This is Coach Lou signing off. Have an absolutely amazing day, guys. See you soon.